You really? Peeing in my ditch. Afternoon, neighbors. It is, I don't know, 6:30 probably. It's actually really nice outside. It is hot. It has been hot. Guess what? Let me tell you a secret. It's almost July and we're in the South. So if you moved here not realizing that July in the South is hot, you have issues. It just gets me when even the newscasters that are very Southern still are like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's gonna be like 95 all week. Well, no shit. What are you expecting here? It's the South in July. That's what it is. So anyway, today was a great damn day. I got a little bored at work just because one of the things that I do, most of the time I do things in like 6s or 12s. They don't take that long to complete like each section. But I'm making these large clothes bags and they take a little extra time to complete, and there's 12 of them. The next batch I'm doing is a different color and there's I think 16. So you get to be doing one particular part of the project for quite a while. And so there was a couple times today, like I stood up and just made a circle and kind of walked around. I've been trying to do that a little bit better. I don't know if it's because my chair is extra skinny or if it's extra low. I'm trying to figure that out. But sitting, I tend to get into work focus and just work. There's my husband. And I just get to focus on work, and then I forget that I should get up and, move and function like an adult. I'm being stalked. They're moving some stuff around in the driveway, so he needed to move around. So that's kind of, anyway, I got a little bored today, but I only have, I think, 4 more of this particular section to do, and then I get to do the next step. When you do bags, you kind of do one half and then you do the other half, and then you put the 2 halves together. Weird, huh? So tomorrow I will move on to, actually, now that I say that out loud, I might get in there tomorrow morning. Depends on if I can get in my shed early. I do have to work tomorrow, as far as I'm aware, is my last day at Kroger. And so they needed somebody to be floor supervisor. And I think I'm the only one else besides the first. There's a manager and then there's the assistant manager. There happen to both be gone tomorrow. And so she asked if I wouldn't do it. And I don't think there's anybody else there that knows how to do it. And they needed somebody. So anyway, called me and asked me if I wouldn't go, and I said sure. That is going to take me from 11 to 7. So middle of the day. Kind of sucks. But it is what it is. And then I can go back and I can work on some more stuff on Saturday to get it together. It's still such a dork teenager is what it is. Hey, dork. Hi. Hi, can you wave? Can you wave? Can you wave? Wave. You forget what you're doing?
No.
Really?
You wave? Wave. Good boy.
Yeah, run.
I think I want to run. Let's go.
Run, get her. What a goober. So that was work today. Again, some days take more brain cells than others, and today's it didn't take any brain cells, and so it kind of hurts my spirit to be like, I need brain cells. That was kind of cute. Maybe a little halo effects. No. Then I was going to, at one point in time today, give my brain a rest, or my not brain a rest, like I'm not thinking, and kind of start the next part of the project, or start a new one. Then of course I went and I looked through the next thing that I'm going to do, and not all the pieces are there. So I went, oh, I can't make this. So I'll get that straightened out. I've got a list of what I need, and I'll get that straightened out next Wednesday when I go back. But for now, I sucked it up, and I was like, I'll make 2 more. And so I did that. And then see if I can't get those at least finished. At least the last, I think I have 3 left. So get the last 3 finished. And then, see, tomorrow I'm at Kroger. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a family team meeting, which we do this often. I cannot highly recommend it enough. People do not do this. And then people get on the Facebooks and the YouTubes and they bitch about their spouse is blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to do this and they're going to do that. Dude, have a freaking team meeting and just discuss it. Just come out and be like, hey, I would really like to, whatever. What do you think? Or do you have plans this weekend? Otherwise they make plans and they're like, well, we were going to do this and you were going to do that. Just freaking have a chit chat about it. It's not going to be the end of the world. So I don't know if that's a mosquito or not. We are going to do that tomorrow night. Of course, I said we would also cook burgers to make sure that all of my children showed up. And I think they're all going to come. One of Andy Frisella's rules is no meeting should last more than 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure ours are going to last a little bit longer than that. But we got actually most of it kind of hashed out tonight of what we're going to do when I just want to put it on the calendar, start getting things on the calendar of how we're going to go. The well guy has confirmed. Our septic guy has confirmed. He originally said that he was booked solid 3 to 4 months out. It was going to be a long time. Well, since we're having a water shortage in the great state of Tennessee, they are not allowing more water hookups, which doesn't matter for us because I won't be on city water anyway. We want a well, but he now is free because he has all of this work to do, but it's not officially permitted, so they cannot go ahead and start the rest of the septic work. And I totally understand. He's like, I like it better because you can do 20 houses right in a row instead of doing one here and one there. Totally get that, but that is also good for us. And it's not that so the reason for I'm gonna call it a water shortage is that the Duck River, and I've been reading up, it says I think they claim that it's the most biodiverse river in the world, which seems strange, but we have had so much growth in Tennessee that we are pulling so much water out of the duck that they are afraid, of overusing, which, hello, great concern. So they're restricting the amount of water that can be pulled. It doesn't have to do with, like the water treatment plants, because the water treatment plants that we have, like the Spring Hill one, stuff like that, they can actually treat more water than they're using right now, but we're not physically allowed to pull more water from the duck per the state of Tennessee. So anybody who's on duck water, and that's all the big ones, I think, like, I'm gonna guess even Nashville might be, but I know Spring Hill, Columbia, probably Brentwood, Franklin, and if you know anything about the Nashville area, Brentwood, Franklin is where all the rich country music singers live. Most of them don't actually live in Nashville. They go and they live kind of right south of there in Brentwood. It's the upscale part of town. But anyway, it's just flooded with people, and that is causing more water usage. Duh. And so they're going to revisit this sometime in July to see if they're going to allow more taps. But the rivers are pretty low right now. And we got rain yesterday, but we haven't had rain in a long time. So I don't think they're going to let anybody, hopefully not. This I've talked before about this place right here, this 31 acres in front of us. They are, that got annexed into the city, and they're trying to build, the plan is 75 duplexes and 25 houses. They, so far, cannot do that because, again, no more extra water hookups. But they're trying to do the same thing to another place down the road that way. And they also got it annexed into the city. They went to the, that's an odd find. Sorry, pretty bird. Definitely not poison ivy. Huh, interesting. They got it annexed into the city as well. And then they went to the planning board and asked if they couldn't have it changed from low density residential to high density residential, which means they could fit more houses on the acreage. And they were told by the city no, or the planning commission, whatever it is, they were told no, thankfully. So that means, hey, you can have some houses out here, but it can't be, you know, 1 per quarter acre like they really had hoped to do. So hopefully they're going to do that same thing with this, and they're going to say, hey, look, you can put some houses out here, but you can't have 100 like they want. And that would at least make my life happier. Again, we're moving, but still, I mean, like, we've lived here for 10 years. Nobody wants to see this residential, except the guys inside the city who don't have to look at it. And he just kind of told me that I was being a whiny baby when I suggested that we didn't want to look at this. And he's like, well, more people want it than don't want it. And I said, well, how come they weren't at any of the meetings where you guys decided this? It was wall-to-wall standing room only of the people who didn't want this. And he's like, they've talked to me privately, like they don't want people to know who they are. And I was like, really? You have that many people that have contacted you privately? I call bullshit. Anyway, I digress. That's kind of what we're up to and what we're doing. Getting over there, getting to the neighbors. The next thing we got to do is I got to talk to my friend Sean Mills. Poopy. I find poopies again. Eat the grass. So, dork child. Got to talk to my friend Sean Mills. He can get us hooked up with some solar. There are 3 poles over there currently down through the middle of the yard irrelevantly, because the main poles go on the edge of the road. So I have no idea why they just decided to cut a corner and go into our yard. But we've talked to the electric company and asked about having them moved. I'm thinking it's going to be like $20,000 a pole to have it moved. It's not. Look at the pretty sunshine. It's not. He told me it was going to be around $5,000 or $6,000, I think, to have all of them done. And he said it shouldn't be a big deal because the main line goes like right in front of our yard, right down the main road. And then this just cuts through to nowhere. I'm going to guess it used to feed the old homestead that was there on that side. Alas, that has fallen down many years ago. So definitely not worried about any of that right now. And that will be amazing. If we can get that off of our land, I will feel much more comfortable about living there. I don't know. I don't like electrical lines running electricity all the time, being around that. I know that we're electrical beings, and I just feel like that can seriously screw up some stuff. So the further away from that we can get, perfect. Sean Mills does solar, and I would really, really, really like to get solar on our place and only have that and not have to deal with the electrical company. They're already talking about, I think we're a week into high temps, and they're already talking about, hey, everybody needs to conserve their energy, and you shouldn't have your indoor air conditioning set below, I think it was like 85 degrees or 80 degrees or something like that. And then of course you have 800 people here saying, yep, can't tell me what to do. I pay my bill. I'm going to set it to 65 degrees. that's fine. You do you. But also realize that if we're going to do things like that, it's just going to bring down the entire grid. And I say that in our area. Somebody's going to freak out and be like, oh, it will not. But we have, every year for the last 3 or 4 years, we've been told that either, we as residents have to personally bring down our usage, or they're just going to do rolling blackouts and shut us off. So far, we haven't been in that, but other people in the county have been in that. And the one thing in all of this are the people who have solar are like, guess what? It didn't affect me. And right now, if we start, we can buy like a smaller solar system that only does the 2 sheds that we will have and our camper. And then hopefully by the time we sell our land here and build, then it will, we'll have some more money to be able to expand that. And that way we don't have to buy a whole, $25,000 solar system all at once. That just doesn't sound like my cup of tea. So, moving along. We only have a couple weeks then before hopefully we can move over there. We will probably, my husband would really like a solid concrete pad underneath our camper before we move it over there. Otherwise, it just settles, and then the doors, like in our camper, don't stay open because the camper's not level anymore. And we probably are going to end up forming that and pouring it ourselves. Why? Because we can. And it will save me thousands of dollars. Concrete is not hard to pour. And I might just have to mix it all up myself. But again, we've done that before. And then I think we're going to build a shed for Taylor and her dog training. And that too will probably have a concrete floor. We want to make it kind of something permanent. So we might just concrete the floor and then sink either posts down into it or connect the posts, tie them in so that it's considered a permanent structure and not considered a movable shed. The great state of Tennessee has problems with movable sheds. It's kind of weird that they get to have a problem with my shed, but they do. So that's where we're at with that. All excited, but if you can get glimpses of our shit, this is us. I'm going to use that term loosely. This is not us. This is my adult child who likes to collect projects. And we've taken Miata, and then we've taken one, where'd it go? Cut it in half. There's half of it. This is the other half of it here, because he bought a project. He bought a car. He bought one Miata, and then he bought 2 like shells to be able to have pieces to go with it and to fix it. Well, then because these 2 shells didn't have titles with them, because they're just parts cars, you can't take them to a junkyard around here without a title, which sort of I understand, but kind of stupid. So he's cutting it up into pieces, and then we're going to put it on the trailer and kind of junk it into pieces. There's a couple cages of chickens right here. Chickens will not be going with us to the next house. They need to get chopped up and eaten. So that is on the list for Saturday morning. Put a couple of chickens in the crock pot, and twice a week we're just going to start butchering chickens. If any of them are on the lean meat side, then what we're going to end up doing is we'll just kill them and feed them to the dogs, because we have plenty of those. So that's kind of the plan. I've got to start packing stuff. The shed with my laser in it's got to move, and we've got to pack everything before it goes, and we have to pack or we have to move the big fridge and freezer, and we got to move my laser separate. So that's the plan. The plan is to make a plan, figure out what days we're gonna kind of move everything and get that one all figured out. So there we go. Finish my second workout of the day.